Close to 30 years in the public eye, there's not much left for Jess Rowe to tick off her career bucket list. Multiple TV shows, author, social media star, and now a very successful podcast host.
The Jess Rowe Big Talk Show sees her sitting down with some of the world's most interesting people, from politicians, musicians, actors, and even the guy sitting next to me.
One of the greatest compliments for me.
Tell me more about those lows then.
I guess as the axing started to stack up, you look at yourself in the mirror and go, maybe this is, I'm just being used as a bit of putty here. So maybe this isn't for me long term. Maybe I have to look at other things. I would definitely think, what am I going to do now? Because it's not TV.
Tell us more, and yeah, look at him now. Jess Rowe joins us live. We'll get to Laz in just a minute, but first tell us the Jess Rowe Big Talk Show. You're loving the world of podcasting. You've been doing this for a while now.
I absolutely adore it. The podcast has been going now for 5 years, and I've got an amazing producer, Nick McClure. We call ourselves the Leopard Ladies. And what we love about the podcast is we have big talks with people and you discover a new side to them, and we can dig deep on things that often you won't hear anywhere else. And you guys know me, I love a chat. It's very hard to wind me up in terms of stop talking. And
even though we're going to try and do that in about 4 minutes.
No! And you see, again, that is what is so exciting and powerful about podcasts, is that you have time to really sit and talk to someone.
What's the most surprising thing you've got from someone? Because, you know, as you said, we got 3-4 minutes here. You spent an hour with people.
You know what? It's so hard to say what is the most surprising thing. I think in every conversation there is something that I learn about that person. Say, like Laz, it's so wonderful having you on the podcast. And what I learned from you was that there are times when you think, oh, am I up to this?
Yeah.
You know, you still get a sense of imposter syndrome. And I think I look at someone like you, and I'm sure, Kylie, you know, you have sat next to Larry for what, 18 years?
18 years.
But to learn that there are still moments when you question whether you can do something. And I think that is really quite an exciting thing to discover about someone, because we always look at people who have it all together and you think, oh, is what's wrong with me? But in fact, we've all got our things that we struggle with.
Peeking behind the curtain. You spoke to your mum, which is a really lovely thing. I would suspect that you would probably think you knew everything about your mum, but there was a whole range of stuff, and she suffered with bipolar, so there was lots to talk about.
There was, and I adore my mum. We are so tight. And what was so meaningful about having this conversation with Mum was that it actually turned into 3 conversations. We couldn't stop talking. And some of it, we did go very deep on mental health. We had viewers, or rather listeners, who would call in, share their experiences. Because I think, as both of you guys know, we're in the business of storytelling and sharing our stories. And when you share your story, you feel less alone. And there were moments in that chat with my mum when I got quite teary. And also, too, hearing my mum in that guise is so exciting too. She's a very wise lady. And I'm listening to her going, oh my goodness, you've got so much to offer. And we'd actually love on the podcast to have perhaps some episodes where it's like, I call my mum Mummo. So we might have like an Ask Mummo segment where she can answer people's questions.
How do you decide who comes in? What are you looking for in a guest?
Well, I think someone who has a story to tell. All of us have a story. I mean, Kylie, I want to get you on the podcast.
I don't. You know what? I've only ever done one.
Because you don't often,
and I don't,
do you?
and it's just not me.
Why not? Why do you think that is?
I just don't think I'm interesting enough.
Oh,
but anyway, so
but that's nonsense.
Who is on your bucket list? Who would you like to get to?
But you know what? We're all interesting, and I think your story is fascinating, and the fact of what you have done for so long in your career, in your life, and I know you're going, let's not talk about this.
Well, OK, so you've got a bucket list. Anyone who's banned from your podcast?
No, of course. Oh, well, actually, maybe 1 or 2 people. I won't be telling you that.
You're too nice for that. You're too nice for that. Well, have you ever been a guest on somebody else's, though, Jess? You have?
Yes. I mean,
what's it like then flipping the script?
Well, I enjoy it because, I mean, hello, I love a chat. And I think what is great about the podcast medium is you have the time to really talk with someone. You don't have someone in your ear saying, wrap it up, time to go, OK.
That's happening to us now.
Oh, no! So to actually have that time is really lovely. And what I've learnt over that time is to, and my bestie Denise Drysdale taught me this, is to really look, listen, really listen. And that is a real art in itself, as opposed to thinking, oh, I've got to jump in with my next question, to actually look at someone, see what their eyes are telling you, and to have that space to actually breathe and also to listen, because often it's in that listening that someone might reveal something that you think, oh, my goodness, I didn't know that. It's
a very different environment, I've got to say, because we sat down, and I've known you for the longest time, but I've never sat down across from you, Jess, and looked into your eyes and had that conversation. It's a whole different medium, and it was so enjoyable, and I love the chat with you. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you, Jess.
Oh, you're rapping already? You're someone in your ear.
You can hear the Jess Rowe Talk Show podcast on Listen.
Oh, haven't we just started?
Just so you know, they started screaming about 45 seconds ago, Jess.
Thank you for having me,
Lovely to
guys.
see
I
you.
love you both.
Lovely to see you.